All right, well, good evening and welcome back for those that were here earlier. This is our regularly scheduled village board meeting of the President and Board of Trustees. Let the record reflect that it's April 3rd, 2018 at 7:42 p.m. And please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before we call the roll this evening, Tinley Park lost two long-standing residents of the village that I'd like to take a moment of silence and reflection. Today, we buried Colleen Simon, who is a long-standing commissioner of our Veterans Commission. She was also integral in the creation of the Oktoberfest, the original Oktoberfest. And she will be missed, as well as our Deputy Chief of Police, Lori Mason's mother, who passed away. So if we could just take a brief moment and remember them in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you very much. Madam Deputy Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Yonker. Trustee Panito.
Here.
Trustee Berg.
Here.
Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Glass.
Present.
Trustee Mangan.
Here.
President Vandenberg.
Present, thank you. Item number 1, this time I'd ask for a motion to consider approval of the agenda. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Panito, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Item number 2, I'd ask for a motion to consider approval of the minutes of the regular village board meeting held on March 20, 2018.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Panito, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Berg. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 3, receive comments from the public this evening.
I just got a quick question for Trustee Mangan regarding the village's health insurance. Just for the record, has nothing to do with your choice to take the village's insurance. My question is why did we choose to pay a broker fee with the company we selected?
On the insurance?
Yes.
Are you talking about when we renewed the insurance back?
Is last July, I believe. And
Yeah, we had an insurance company that we're with. We went out and basically worked with that company to get a better situation. We went directly with that company.
Okay.
It wasn't we went through the company to get a better deal. And it was roughly about a $50,000 improvement to what we were paying yearly for the next 3 years.
Okay. That was, their fee was, correct?
There's different ways of fee. There's a set fee on this one. Before, they were paid a different way on the previous insurance. This is a set fee.
Yeah, so it's a monthly policy fee, correct?
It's a set fee for the year.
Okay.
Flat fee. Right.
Well, my question is, they weren't the lowest bidder in the process. I know that we've been through that. We've been down that road. I think it was Gallagher was the lowest. Is that correct?
Not based on all the information that was included in it, no.
Okay. Because in the RFQ, I was just...
It was a mixture of a lot of things that we made a decision on when we made the decision for that.
Okay. Because in the RFQ, on item 6, it just says, if services are provided, and this is for the current broker, it says if services are provided on a commission schedule, what is the schedule and how much was paid to the broker? The current services are paid by commission. Services are not paid directly by the village, but by commission through the insurance provider, which would be Blue Cross Blue Shield. So we weren't paying a broker fee before.
We're paying the company directly. You want to go through that, David?
Part of the fee. I mean, I'd be glad to certainly get you the breakdown of what we paid the previous.
I'm just concerned because we are comparing their commissions as opposed to broker fees. And commissions are paid directly by the insurance company. So I'd be happy to go over all that, but commissions we were Blue Cross Blue Shield was paying our old broker, which was Hallberg, $7,500 a month. We weren't paying them anything. So I'm curious as to why we're paying $42,000 more a year.
We can get back.
Yeah,
we
we'll
can
get
go-
you-
we
we'll
can
get
go
you the
back with
numbers.
it. That's not the case.
Okay.
We can get back.
Thank you.
As you know, I'm shocked to find out that we're paying insurance. And actually, at the last meeting, I thought that you guys were gonna know, well, it's gone round and round, but you took down some questions, but nobody ever got back to me. I think as a taxpayer, we should know what everybody is getting up here. How much each individual person sitting up here, I thought everybody got the same stipend, $13,000 I thought it was. And I thought that was it. I believe not only should you not be getting this benefit, adding it on, I have worked for 25 years for my company, and I don't get that kind of benefit. I just got my benefit statement from them. That's not right. I believe that this board should put something on the books that no longer the board members, that we want to turn over. We put in term limits. We know we want new life throughout these boards. Put something on the books. No more. Stipend is that. How could it not have been disclosed? How could he vote on something that he's going to get a benefit from? There's no, that shouldn't have been disclosed to us? He shouldn't have had to abstain? I mean, who makes that? I'm looking at you guys because I don't know who. I mean, that should have been, we should have known this. I'm going to ask again because nobody responded to me the last time. How many, I would like to know every benefit outside of the $13,000 that I believed each of these board members were getting, what is being given to them in any form. Also, part-timers. Are we giving part-timers insurance under 32 hours or whatever the state?
Following the federal requirement, if they work 30 hours or more, that they are offered health insurance.
If they're 30 hours or more. Do we have any under that are getting health benefits?
I don't know if that.
Okay,
I'm not
could we
aware.
write that down as a question that somebody could get back to me? Do I need to FOIA? I mean, what is the
No,
rule?
we can certainly get that for you. And maybe
Because we
you
should know
add
that.
to a previous elected that may be receiving benefits as well. Or in the past have received. If we're going to open it up for full
I just
transparency.
think that, I thought it was awesome when you guys ran on nobody taking benefits. One of the reasons, we got behind you. So I was a little surprised when you placed somebody in a seat that you didn't feel we're going to, you made that promise to us. Then you elected him to that seat and didn't hold up. So basically, when I say that I can't trust you guys, you understand why. You guys need to put something on the books. Change this for the future. We can't afford not to have enough police on our streets because we're paying ridiculous money in legal fees, $2 million because of a decision partly you made to want to place somebody that other people didn't want to, or whatever the whole thing is about, I don't know, but it's wasted a lot of our money. And I shouldn't have to feel that I'm not safe in my own home. I shouldn't have had to go out and do everything I had to do to feel safer, because I can't rely on you're using our money where it should be. $2 million is probably the shortfall of why we didn't have enough police. You guys are up there. Make a difference. Make a change. Fix it. You should go back to paying your own insurance, just like the rest of us have to. And you know that. That needs to be fixed. And something needs to get on the books that this doesn't happen in the future. And I hope that we don't find out the rest of you guys are all getting into, because talk about disappointment.
Thank you.
This is addressed to Trustee Magnin as well. Since you were in full support of changing public comment, I wasn't able to respond to the boo-hoo speech. You say you want to give the village your expertise. You're not a career politician. You want to serve the village. You're a man of principles, and you value yourself on integrity. Now, why does it seem like you try to control everything in the day when things don't go your way? When things don't go your way, you start rocking and back and forth in your chair and rubbing your face repeatedly and, your head. You'd be a horrible poker player because you always tell your emotions without even saying a word or speaking a word.
If there's a comment to be made about village business, feel free to make it. Otherwise, you can take your personal attacks and go somewhere else.
Okay, it's not a personal attack. I'm just.
Yes, sir, it is.
It seems like you're the only one that interferes with or interjects on every single committee. That is why I watched the YouTube. When I saw that on YouTube, I should say, you claim you're expert and you have the hardest job here. One thing I can agree with you on is that I personally also believe every family should have health insurance. But at what and whose expense can we justify it? Yourself or blame the staff? It isn't here, the people that aren't here any longer. But we know it isn't true. There's absolutely no excuse available to justify on what you did financially to the village. You say you'll not profit off the village, but you are okay with costing the village $24,000. And disheartening, you earn $13,000 per year, but the cost is double than that in insurance. Sure seems to me like you're profiting the tune of $24,000. And for the record, you did try to take the village pension until it got voted down. So apparently you weren't being truthful once again. It looks like on the social media post that you have had $492.10 deducted for your pension. And the village is on the hook for the other $2,008. That brings the total cost to taxpayers to a grand total of $39,008 for an appointed position. But you say you're not here to profit. Do all the trustees have that as well in the village, the insurance? I don't think the mayor or the clerk has that. That's all.
Thank you. Any other comments? Mr. Cohen, sure.
I have two comments to the board. One is a plan commissioner and one is a citizen. The first one is a plan commissioner. It was disheartening to hear at the last meeting as you were discussing the Larry's gas station and car wash potential annexation for one of the board members to make some statements as a trustee stating that, oh, I think this and I think that, and I think the signs are decent. I took that very much at heart because as a plan commissioner, we spent the better part of last term coming up with new sign ordinances for this village to stop the noise that the signs create. And if you go by this Larry's Car Wash and Gas, you'll see numerous violations when you compare what the new sign ordinance in Tinley Park allows. I have no issue if you trustees as citizens outside the public forum make a comment that I think the signs are decent. It just makes my job as a commissioner and the other commissioners on the Plan Commission's job that much harder to explain to the applicant who's asking for annexation when he hears a trustee saying the signs are fine or decent, and we're telling him that part of our vote to approve or disapprove a recommendation onto the board is based upon you coming in full compliance with the sign ordinance. And he says, oh, wait a second, I've got a trustee who said that my signs are decent, they're fine. So I ask every one of you trustees, when you sit up there as a trustee in a public forum, if you don't have any basis for your comments, to please keep them to yourself and make them as a person and a citizen and a resident rather than a trustee. That's the first comment. And the second comment, as a citizen, I read with great interest what's going on with this insurance thing, and I'm not here to pick on anybody. But in the words of a president in his inaugural address, when he asked the question, asked not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. You sit up there as a trustee, whether elected or appointed, out of a sense of citizenship, out of a sense of moral pride and passion to do what's best for this town. Not what is best for you. You're not there to profit from this position. You shouldn't be. When our forefathers started this country, they all came together in Philadelphia and went right back to their jobs. They didn't sit up there as career politicians. Fortunately, we have term limits in this town. But for you to go up there and to profit from your position, and I have no issues with stipends. You guys deserve it. You guys put in a lot of time. I know that. I know that from my position, and I'm a little guy. You guys are the big cheese. You put in a lot of time. You should get paid for your expenses and for whatever else you do for the town. But to get anything extra, to me, is appalling as a resident and as a citizen, and it certainly is not what this government was based upon when it was first formed back in 1776, 1778. Thank you.
Good evening. Just a really quick comment. The gentleman who spoke before, Commissioner Croner, you stopped him at some point and said that you will not allow attacks. I understand that. But you have to be fair, and you have to stop trustees from doing the same thing to fellow trustees and to residents. It has to be equal. If you're going to stop someone because you feel that they are attacking a member of the board, you need to stop the member of the board who's doing the same thing to the residents and other trustees. Thanks.
On item 9, I got a question. April 9th, it says of 2018, staff recommended to the board that the EMS RFP was going to be released out in the spring, and it was going to be for a 4-year contract with a single 2-year extension. I believe I was here April 9th. I don't ever remember hearing that. Mr. Brady, question. What's going on?
No, Chris, I'd like to, and I was going to mention it when it came on at item 9. That is a typo.
Okay.
It was from Public Safety Committee. It came with a 3-year and 2-year extension. So
Okay.
that was a typo that I put in there, and also in the memo I talked to the trustees prior. So that's something that they will change and vote back to that original public safety thing. And in addition to that, there was also the 3-year and 36 months where it was 3 years and 18 months for the experience as an 911.
Okay.
And then they said to go with 27 months versus the 36. So
Okay.
that's 2 typos that will be changed.
Okay, and that's, now that 3 years, 36 months, that's, you're talking about the contractor or the people, or the paramedics themselves?
That would be the contractor having that experience as a 911 ALS operator in that specific town of 25,000 or more.
Okay. All right. You know, the last time I was here, I was talking about trying to get numbers. And Mr. Mangan, you know, I know I kind of probably came off a little strong, but I just don't understand from the last time we had spoke, you know, what I kind of feel like it's always getting hidden. Like, you know, we talk about, you know, saving money, you know, trying to always, you know, compare it what, you know, it would cost if we did it our own, or if we if we outsource it. So my question is, you know, what are the numbers for doing it ourselves?
Hey, you want to go through that?
Yeah, Chris, and again, when we put out this RFP and it comes back and we sit down and discuss again, you're going to be folded back into this process. And we have these, if you remember when we met with Chief Reader,
Right.
we initially discussed some initial numbers. And what we'll do is we will go over the numbers that we have collectively worked together with Deputy Chief Klotz and Chief Reader, and we will show those to you and base our decision.
You know what, I appreciate it, Pat. I do. It's just I want to hear sometimes from these guys. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones voting on this stuff. So sometimes when I get questions, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to be up here and trying to intimidate anybody or anything like that. But when I'm asking common sense questions, I want to hear common sense answers because you guys are going to be voting on this. Beforehand, I had called some of you personally and tried to get some of your intake on this whole process. Some people got back to me, some people didn't return my phone call. And I kind of don't understand what the big problem is. You're talking about spending another $3-point-something million and at the same time talking about, trying to save money. So at the end of the day, I'm just, you're hearing all this different talk, and sometimes it's like, it feels like it's like rhetoric. I never get a real straight up answer. So I come up here, do my due diligence, research, make sure I'm coming up with the proper numbers coming up, and then everybody on the board goes kind of like quiet. And we're paying taxpayers. I want to hear the truth. I don't care about your executive sessions and what goes on in the back burner. Say it here in front of all of us. I want to hear it. We deserve to hear it. But thank you, Pat. I appreciate it.
Other comments? I'd ask for item 4, receive comments from the staff. Board and staff, anything from the board? Staff? No? Enough said tonight?
Yes. I think
Chief, you got something?
I do. I actually have two things. Our state senator, Mike Hastings, has been named Public Official of the Year from the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police for his support of criminal justice issues in the state, so that'll be awarded next Wednesday. And last week, we graduated our 6th Citizen Police Academy. 25 people graduated after the 10-week course. It's part of our community engagement program to get people to learn a little bit more about what we do, and it was very well received again. So.
Yes, it was.
I would just like to remind the community that Saturday is the annual Discover Tinley Expo, Community Expo at the Convention Center from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. That is put on by our Community Resource Commission. There are over 100 vendors lined up to be there on Saturday. Hope you can join us.
Thank you.
I just wanted to report on an ordinance we had passed last fall on keeping poultry at residential property. I can't say that without laughing anymore. But we, because it's tied to our licensing year, they'll begin May 1st. The letters went out last week on any residents that we are aware of that keep poultry on their property. And we're going to ask for those applications to be in by May 1 and then compliance by June 15th.
Thank you, Paul. Very good. Nothing else from the staff? Oh, Chief, you got something?
Just like real quickly to invite the community out to the Texas Roadhouse tomorrow night, April 4th and April 18th. The fire department, in conjunction with our Fire Prevention Bureau, are having a fundraiser in which Texas Roadhouse is going to be donating 10% of all the proceeds from any of the dinners or lunches or whatever purchased there back to the burn camp in Illinois. Very, very important cause to the entire fire department and the community. And we've got a great partnership with Texas Roadhouse going a number of years, and they're going to be donating again 10% tomorrow night and again on April 18th. And we'd like to invite everybody out to join us for that. Thank you, Mayor.
Very good. Item 5. It's time to ask for a motion to consider following consent agenda items. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Berg. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Brady. Madam Deputy Clerk, can you call these into the record, please?
Consider request from the Tinley Park Youth Baseball to conduct a raffle, Queen of Hearts, from April 25th, 2018 through June 23rd, 2018, with the maximum total value of the prize not to exceed $100,000. The winner will be drawn weekly at the Bulldogs concession stand at Memorial Park. Payment of outstanding bills in an amount of $898,715.85 as listed on the vendor board approval reports dated March 23rd and March 29th, 2018.
Thank you, Clerk. Does any board member care to remove any of these items? There is none. Please call the roll.
Trustee Panito?
Yes.
Trustee Berg?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Glatz?
Yes.
Trustee Mangan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6, Trustee Brady.
Yes, I'd like to have you consider adopting resolution number 2018 015, recognizing Ethan Michael Petrello as attending the rank of Eagle Scout. And he is here in the audience with his family.
Is there a second for that motion?
Second.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Go ahead and get the rest.
Okay. I'd like to have you come up before I read this, if you would, please. Come all the way up to here.
Front and center.
There we go. Whereas on March 18, 2018, Eagle Scout Court of Honor was held by Ethan Mike Petrello at St. Stephen's Deacon and Martyr Church. Whereas Ethan of Troop 911, which is chartered by the Tinley Park Police Department, attained the rank of Eagle Scout within the Boy Scouts of America. Whereas Ethan is the 27th Scout to attain the rank of Eagle Scout from Troop 911. He has achieved the rank with 46 merit badges, 25 merit badges above the requirement for Eagle. Ethan's Eagle project was to install and fix handicap and stop signs, repaint the driveways and handicap areas at St. Stephen's Deacon and Martyr Church, as well as install a sign at the exit of the church parking lot that reads, "Go in peace and serve the Lord." Whereas only 4% of scouts within the Boy Scouts of America attained the rank of Eagle Scout. Whereas Ethan has joined the ranks of Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the moon, Gerald Ford, 38th President of the United States, both of whom are Eagle Scouts. Therefore, let it be resolved by the President and Board of Trustees of the Village of Tinley Park, Cook and Will Counties, Illinois, that April 3rd, 2018 be designated as Eagle Scout Ethan Michael Petrello Day in Village of Tinley Park. And I urge all citizens to join together and congratulate Ethan Petrello as the achievement of attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. Approved this day on the 3rd day of April 2018. If we could, one more, Chief, since the Tinley Park Police Department is our charter organization, and most of you don't know, it happens to be, I'm the committee chairman and founder of our troop. Very good job.
Cute.
I'll double check.
It's in the bag. It's for different computers.
Clerk, it was just brought to my attention, that we actually moved item 2, correct? It was moved and seconded. Staff members saying it might not. I have notes that it was.
No, we did. Yes,
Oh,
Mike
we did.
Benito
All
and
right.
I have it.
Cindy Berg.
Trustee Pinino and Trustee Berg as well.
Yep.
All right, very good. Just want to make sure we're running a proper meeting here, of course. No, it was the minutes.
Yeah.
Very good. Congratulations, Ethan. Item 7, Trustee Brady.
I'd like to make a motion to consider the appointment of William Gomeka to the position of Public Works Office Coordinator.
Is there a second?
Second?
Okay. The village recently embarked on a recruitment for the position of Office Coordinator in the Public Works Department and received over 200 applicants. Village staff interviewed William Gomeka for this position and were impressed by his professionalism. His work experience is consummated with the requirements of the position and will complement the talents of the Public Works Department. Mr. Gomeka is 8 years' experience on the site account manager for staff management, True Blue corporate clients, where he was responsible for operational and management functions. As office coordinator, he reported directly to the Public Works Director and the Assistant Director. I'd ask you to consider concurring the recommendation of the Mayor Vandenberg and appoint William as a Public Works Office Coordinator.
Thank you, Trustee Brady. William, are you here?
Yes, he is.
Like to stand up, introduce yourself to the board and the public. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm William Gamalka. Thank you for having me here. So I just wanted to say thank you to the Village Board. Thank you to the Village Public Works Department for the opportunity. I'm very excited. I will pledge to be transparent and professional to both the village staff and the residents of the community. I look forward to getting to know everybody on a professional and personal level, and I'm very excited to start working with you. So, thank you.
Thank you,
Willie.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So this is an appointment. I'd ask for the roll to be taken, please.
Trustee Panito?
Yes.
Trustee Berg?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Glatz?
Yes.
And Trustee Mangan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Congratulations. Item 8, Trustee Glatz.
I would like to make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2018-0-018, granting variations from Section 3 of the Tinley Park zoning ordinance to construct an accessory structure located at 17171 84th Avenue within the R3 zoning district.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Mike. The petitioner, Southwest Chicago Christian Schools, is seeking 5 variations to construct a transportation building to serve the existing school. These variations will allow the petitioner to construct an accessory structure adjacent to the Southwest Chicago Christian School for purposes of constructing a 2,400 square foot transportation building with a roof height of 21 feet to be serviced with water, sanitary sewer, and natural gas. The requested variations will allow for off-street surface parking for 11 school buses that will be enclosed with an 8-foot chain link fence. Paula, is there anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention it was unanimously approved at the March 15th public hearing, 6-0. There are 5 variations involved with this. One for size, to accommodate the 24,000 square foot building that requires a 1,680 square foot variation. There is also a height variation of 3 feet. For servicing the building with utilities, that is also a variation, as well as parking the 11 buses outdoor on a surface parking lot. That required a variation, and the height of the fence that's going to surround the outdoor parking of buses has been given or the Plan Commission recommended a variation of 2 feet. And just to know, so you're not alarmed by the 5 variations, normally accessory structures, the code is written to really think about residential accessory structures, because it is in a residential district. So this is a unique circumstance. That use has existed there, as well as the outdoor parking of buses for, I think it was 10 years. So, and that's it.
Commissioner Croner, is there anything you would like to add from the Plan Commission?
No, sir, thank you.
Thanks. Due to the unanimous vote of the Plan Commission, this is eligible for waiving of the first reading and therefore is ready to adopt this evening.
Thank you, Trustee Glatz. Is there any comments from the board regarding this item? Any comments from the public regarding item 8? Nothing that reflectors, none. Please call the roll.
Trustee Panito?
Yes.
Trustee Berg?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Glatz?
Yes.
Trustee Mangan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 9, Trustee Brady.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to consider approving the request for proposals for emergency medical services and to issue qualified bidders.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Go ahead.
The current emergency medical services, EMS contract, provided by Kurtz Ambulance Services expires on July 31, 2018. At the November 21st, 2017 board meeting, staff was directed to begin the development of an EMS request for proposals, RFPs, to be released in the spring of 2018. Staff has recommended to the board on April 9, 2018, an EMS RFP and here it says, of course, we've already discussed this, a 4-year, that was a misprint, and it should say 3-year contract with a single 2-year extension on April 9, 2018. This was approved by the Public Safety Committee on March 13, 2018. It is recommended for approval, considering release of the EMS RFPs on April 9, 2018, and for a 4-year contract with a single 2-year extension.
There's a correction there, right?
Yeah.
And the correction
Correct.
on that as well. That
Right,
was
Trustee
already brought
Brady.
up by Chris.
Right, so what we'll do is actually from the Public Safety Committee, it came from 3 years with 2-year extensions for that contract, giving us the opportunity as we spin up our EMS capability within the fire department, we would have the option to draw down or modify the contract within that period.
Is that clear for everyone?
Correct. Yeah.
Very good. Any comments from the board? Any comments from the public? Let the record reflect there's none. Call the roll, please.
Trustee Panito?
Yes.
Trustee Berg?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Glatz?
Yes.
Trustee Mangan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 10.
I'd like to make,
Actually, you want me to, this is where I jumped in here. Or is that 13?
13.
Sorry, Trustee Mangan.
Yeah, go ahead. I'd like to make a motion to consider approval of an ordinance number 2018-0-014, adopting the annual budget for the fiscal year ending April 30th, 2019 for the Village of Tinley Park, Cook, and Will Counties, Illinois.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Go ahead.
On March 12th and 13th, 2018, the Committee of the Whole met and recommended approval of the budget for the fiscal year ending April 30th, 2019. The total general fund expenditure budget is proposed at $53,432,832. The total expenditure budget of all the village funds, including the Tinley Park Public Library, but excluding the police pension fund, is $155,902,087. According to state statutes, a public hearing was held on April 3rd, 2018. A copy of the proposed budget has been available for the public inspection at the village clerk's office and on the open government page of the village website since March 27th, 2018.
Trustee Mangan, this is for first reading. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 11, Trustee Mangan.
I'd like to make a motion to consider resolution number 2018-R-014, authorizing transfers from the general fund, water and sewer operations, and maintenance fund, and computer parking lot operations and maintenance fund.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Go
This
ahead.
resolution implements a series of year-end transfers following established fiscal practices. These transfers are made from the excess of revenues over expenses expected to be generated for the fiscal year ended April 30th, 2018, or from the fund balance of the fund initiating the transfer. The transfers are made to capital and debt service reserve funds to support the current and long-term needs of the village for replacement of infrastructure, equipment, and debt service. The resolution establishes not to exceed amounts for the contemplated transfers of $10 million from the general fund, of $3 million from the water and sewer, and $1 million from the computer and parking lot fund. Computer, yeah.
Again, this resolution is eligible for first reading this evening, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 12, Trustee Mangan.
I'd like to make a motion to consider authorizing Skiddich LLP to perform professional services in connection with conducting the annual financial audit of the village for fiscal year ending April 30th, 2018.
Second.
Thanks.
Thank you. Go ahead.
In 2017, the village solicited a request for proposal, RFP, for the professional services associated with the external audit and financial reporting. All of the respondents provided a 5-year fee schedule. The firm Skiddish LLP was selected to perform the professional audit services through village fiscal year ending 2021. Proposed fees for the fiscal year 2018 audit are not expected to exceed $53,700 per their proposal. Consider authorizing the village manager and treasurer to sign the engagement letter for conducting the annual audit for the fiscal year ending April 30th, 2018, when it is received.
Thank you, Trustee Mangan. Any comments from the board regarding this authorization? Any comments from the public? Let the record reflect there's none.
Trustee Panito?
Yes.
Trustee Berg?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Glatz?
Yes.
Trustee Mangan?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Okay, item 13 through item 16. We had our public hearing this evening for the Tax Increment Financing District, the Bremen Tax Increment Financing District. The board at that time decided to extend the public hearing to April 17th. April 17th, 2018, 7 p.m. here in council chambers. For that, I'll turn it over to our counselor, who will discuss the next steps here on what our agenda items are.
Sure. Based on the events of tonight, I'd ask the board if they'd be inclined to move and second and approve a motion to postpone indefinitely ordinance number 2018-0-015, an ordinance designating the Village of Tinley Park, New Bremen Tax Increment Financing District redevelopment project area. That'd be to postpone indefinitely.
So
I can't motion.
I'll make a motion.
On that,
Yep.
then?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good.
Thank you. So again,
It's gonna be on all those items. then,
all
right?
these items, if you want me to read them, I will, and then but you guys have to make the motion.
Is the board okay with there being one consecutive motion to postpone indefinitely on those, or do you want them separately?
Let's just do them separately.
Very
Just
good. So
quickly
item
for the
13
record.
was already moved and seconded and moved across the board for postponement indefinitely. Item 14.
So once again, Mr. Mayor, I'd ask the board to consider a motion to postpone indefinitely ordinance number 2018-0-016, an ordinance approving the Village of Tinley Park, New Bremen Tax Increment Financing District redevelopment project area, redevelopment plan and project.
So moved.
Moved
Second.
by Mr. Glotz and seconded by Ms. Berg. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 15.
Thank
Again.
you again, Mr. Mayor. I'd ask the board to consider postponing indefinitely ordinance number 2018-0-017, an ordinance adopting tax increment financing for the Village of Tinley Park, New Bremen Tax Increment Financing District.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Glotz. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Mangan. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 16.
And then finally, thanks again, Mr. Mayor, I'd ask the board to consider adopting ordinance number 2018-0-01, strike that. I'd ask the board to consider a motion postponing indefinitely ordinance number 2018-0-012, dissolving the special tax allocation fund and terminating the designation of the Main Street redevelopment project area.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Glotz. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Berg. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, board.
And then obviously they'll come back to us once we get through the public hearings, just so everyone's completely.
They will be back.
Item 17, receive comments from the board. I think I spoke too soon earlier. Forgot we had this. You had something?
I have two, sir. One, coming up on April 8th through the 14th, 2018, is the National Public Safety Communications Week. I'd like to take a big thank you to all the men and women of the Tinley Park 911 Center and a fine job that they did. We recognize them. And second comment, the chief mentioned it. I was part of the graduating class of the Tinley Park Police Academy, Citizens Police Academy last week, and I just certainly wanted to thank the chief and his staff for a fine job. I'd like to urge anybody, they only take 25 people every year that they do this, and I would suggest that anybody who thinks they'd like to know the behind the scenes of the police officers and what the men and women go through, I found out there's no such thing as a routine traffic stop, number one. And number two, I've ruined TV for my wife because I keep saying, they don't do that. That's not what happens. That's not how it's done. And she just says, shut up and watch the show, because now I know better what I learned through that class. And if anybody would care to take it, it's a great class. Sign up for it whenever you can. I thoroughly enjoyed it, Chief, and your presentation and all the rest that came through. Thank you again.
When's the next class, Chief?
We'll be signing up in the fall again. It's always the January to March.
Awesome. Thank you. Anything else?
I wanted to address Commissioner Croner's concerns, and mostly what I wanted to do was thank you and your fellow commissioners for what you do. I mean, you're right, it's a lot of work, and your volunteerism, the work that you do and the other people do, make it easier for me as a board member to sit up here, look at one of these numerous things like number 8 and say, this has been looked at, this has been properly vetted. And I do look at those votes, and when something's unanimous, I can be confident that it's something that I can trust and vote on without doing that much work, and I appreciate that. And your second comment, I think this goes for everybody in our village. Volunteers in the government, volunteers from the Cub Scouts, volunteers from youth sports. These are the things that make our community great. These are the things that set us apart. We are a town of people who care, and we give our time. And your second comment, 20 years I volunteered for the Park District. No salary, no pension, no insurance, basically no anything. But I did that because I love this town. I think my contribution there made some good things happen. We've got that rec center, which I think is really something special that may not have happened otherwise. We've got that fitness center, that's a good-looking building. It's an asset to this town. It makes all of our houses more valuable. It makes it a more livable, happy, healthy community. And I just wanted to say, I appreciate that myself, and I think most of us, we don't, you know, we, outside of the salary that was statutory that got here, we've never asked for raises. We got rid of the longevity pay that was here before we got here. Pensions came up, we voted them down, we aren't taking them. You know, again, that's what I wanted to say on that. And thank you for your service.
Trustee Watson.
Yes, I just want to thank the board for our last appointment to the Plan Department, Kimberly. She is working out great, and appreciate having her.
Good. Anything else from this side? Very good. This time I ask for a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss the following items. The purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired. B, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. And C, the setting of a price for sale or lease of property owned by the public body. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Panito.
Second.
Second. Seconded by Ms. Berg. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll be adjourning to executive session. Nothing will come to follow. Have a good night.
No problem.